Hello and welcome to Tabletop Build. This is going to be a cheeky, hopefully, fingers crossed, quick and easy build for Dredd. The miniatures go. Although alternatively, I reckon that actually, I mean I don't know how it's going to turn out yet, but I reckon it will probably make quite a good build for bits of Stargrave science fiction war games in the Ravaged Galaxy. But I'm definitely building this for Dredd because this is going to go in my Mega City block. So from that point of view, we're going to crack on with this one really quite quickly. I think this is going to be a bit of a kind of like upcycle kit bash come scratch build come thing. I know. It's not a kit. I've got some components. The main component of this model though is going to be this. A PLA reel from a 3D printer. Now, I don't have my 3D printers anymore. I've passed them on to other people because I know several people who are much better at printing than I am, and I can't be asked, frankly. And they just print stuff for me when I ask them, which is kind of cool. Helps the world go around. But I have got a few of these left over, and I know that these can be a bit of an issue. Now, you can just get 3D printed scenery elements that you could add to PLA reels and make kind of cool sci-fi towers anyway. Bits that slot in and all the rest of it, either resin or filament printed. But I'm going to do something old school with this. I'm going to cut up some foam core and I'm going to get some bits out of my big box. I'm going to go digging through the Cack and stick it together, see what I can come up with. I've already got an idea, unlike some of my models recently where I kind of make it up as I go along. Well, I'm still making it up as I go along, but I'm definitely going to make this into another fast food joint. I made the my sushi bar, my noodles bar recently, but this is going to be another fast food joint because I think it'll be quite cool. This bit here can be the kind of like the kitchen bit in there, and then the outside bit, I'm going to have a bit of a roofy bit which will kind of like cut round and stuff and things like that. I think so. Yeah, that's definitely the plan. So really, without any further to do, I think I'm going to get on with this. Do I need to plug anybody today? Well, I suppose I could say thank you to All Lord Games for sponsoring this this series of videos about Dredd. There you go. Thank you very much for that. I could tell you to go join my Patreon at www.patreon.com/MagatheaBuilderWorld. That would also be quite cool. Had my first scenery objective thing giveaway recently, which I need to send to the winner. And very soon I'm going to put a video up on the Patreon about the next big scenery build competition, but not quite yet. I want to try and make this video dead quick. I am in between things. I've just got back from 9 days of pirate action out in the big wild world, blowing things up, hitting people with swords, that kind of thing. Very cool it was too. And I'm off in the end of the week. That's the day, Tuesday. The end of the week, I'm off for 2 weeks to go and do a whole bunch of archaeology for English heritage as well, kid stuff. So I want to get this video done if I can in like 2 days. Wish me luck. Like that. So best we get over here and crack on, see what we can do, yeah. Okay, first mission is, because I'm an idiot and I like all my models to be as interactive as possible, I'm taking out the centre bit of the spool, cutting that out both sides so I can have a larger space on the inside. Then I'm going to work out how everything else works. I'm not doing this in a very sophisticated manner. I have saw and cutting. I'm not going to bore you with this, it's going to take me a little while. Alright, that was a messy job. You can see the part of the Cack that came out in the middle of it. However, it gives me a bit more work. It gives me a bit more room to play with there. I don't know why I've done that, but that's kind of cool. I'm going to need to cut out a base to put this on, and I've already drawn around the top a piece of 5mm foam core which I'm going to cut out, because I think we're going to make a whole roof for it first of all, and that way there I'm also going to make it possible to take the roof off because it'll have a cardboard trim that goes around it, and the stuff that goes on top will stick better than it will to either side of this. I'm going to use the bit with the label on it because it's got no holes as the base, but I do need to cut out a floor, stick in the shop if nothing else. So I need to get a knife, I need to cut this down next, that's the next mission. then I'm going to go digging through the Cack. Hell, it's a long time since I've done some digging through the Cack, but we're going to go looking for sci-fi bits. Shouldn't be too tricky these days because a lot of my sci-fi bits are nicely organised. But Cack digging is very important. And then I'm going to see, whilst I've gone digging through the Cack, see if we can get all the catchphrases in today. After I've done that, I'm going to stick all this together, see if we can add some whimsy. Yes, we will. So the idea of this piece of scenery then is going to be a freestanding bit of scenery that will just go anywhere I like, really, in the shopping mall. And I think it will work really well for other games as well. I'm not going to necessarily specifically dread it up. I mean, it will be, because it's probably going to have the word months on it somewhere for a start, but it'll work perfectly well in other sci-fi settings. But one of those kind of like food court kiosk things. I think a lot of individuals, a lot of people in Mega City 1 get a lot of their food, well, straight out of machines, but in many cases, if not, they go to takeaway joints and places to eat, that kind of thing. A bit like ancient Rome, actually. A lot of the ordinary plebs in ancient Rome didn't really have facilities in their apartments and the like to cook, so they often went to takeaways. And I quite like the idea as well. That's the same way it works in Mega City 1, so hence why I need a number of different takeaways. Okay, so circle cut. Bin that is going to go on the top of that. I need to get some cardboard trim now, kind of breakfast cereal box, which is going to be longer, wider I should say, than the 5mm of the roof and the 2 or 3mm of the plastic, so it will just sit nice and tight on that. Don't even think I'm going to try and stick it on. The options are stick it on and cut out the bit to the shop, or have it as a lift-off unit. I think I might go with a lift-off unit idea. Right, let's see what we can do. Find some cardboard. Could be tricky. I've just had a bloody great big tidy up in here. Don't know where everything is. Oh no, look, there's one handy there. Cereal box. Gonna cut strips. Probably gonna take a couple. Alright, first successful bit of Cack digging is this little event, which I think I bought years ago from Caravan Shop, which I've drawn out, although it doesn't really look like it's in the centre, but then that circle is so huge, it's going to be fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sink that into the top there, so you'll be able to see inside the model, with an MV, because this isn't outside, this is in a shopping mall, so there's stuff scoping there. I've then gone and got various bits. Mostly Mantic terrain crate, I think. Can't. Well, that's going to be a water tank up the top, and then there's some extractor fans. What else we got here? Well, there's going to be the odd kind of like vending machine outside. One table left from my. Which should be able to sit in one place. My biggest problem actually with this model is the fact that in here it's round, which is going to make fitting things to it pretty tricky. I'll cut out a bit of foam core and stuck it in the bottom circle, so I can stick that in. Yeah, so the fact that it's round and putting in things like a counter inside and stuff is going to be awkward, but we'll see how it goes. I was hoping that these doors, I've got millions of these doors, are going to go fit in underneath, but actually they don't, which is a bit of a bind, because I could use those to make some separate sections, which would be good from a kind of cover point of view, from a game point of view. Nevertheless, I could just cut out some bits of XPS foam or foam core and stick them in to make the odd wall. Wouldn't be too much of a bother. I've got, again, the problem is everything it goes around a curve. So I've got a nice door there, which I could cut in there. Needs a serving hatch. Problem is you get this bit here, see, look. Can you see that? Which juts out, so that needs a bit up and over the top. So I'm going to sit and fiddle with that for a few minutes. Let's cut out this hole in the top, stick that air vent in, that's a good place to start. I'll work on this roof section first before I work out how the hell I'm actually doing this bit. So, yeah, more bits to cut out. Okay, so I have taken my trusty saw and my trusty Stanley knife, and I've cut the hatch in here, serving hatch. That's now going to work. I'm going to stick a door on both sides, I think, over the back somewhere, or on the side, because I ain't going to be able to cut out a doorway. It's not completely level because I did it just by eye, which is probably not the best thing to do, but still going to look pretty neat. This stuff isn't too bad to work with. Pretty rigid. Kind of cool. Okay. What next? Okay, so the next bit then, having cut out my hole, I've cut some 5.6mm tall bits of foam core, which are going to make some separating walls. Can stick those in there, one way or another. It's going to give me some outdoor rooms. I'm going to cut them slightly different shape, so they're solid inside, but a bit out here, so there's more space to shoot guns. I've also started to make a door for this, which is going to be to one side. So I've taken the plastic door, I can't remember whose that one is, that's Maelstrom's Edge, I think. I'm going to cut it into a 5.6mm tall piece of foam core. And now I'm cutting two strips off the side, which are going to be off another bit, which are going to add to the sides, chamfer off, so there's a bit of door entrance. And I could stick that on. Yeah, this is coming together quite quickly, this model. Quite a nice bit of terrain that's going to add quite a substantial chunk in the middle of a shopping mall. Just trimming these sections at an angle so they'll stick better to the wall. Okay, so I put a little wall in here and a little wall in here, mostly to break up the sides of it, make some little rooms, but it also means that there's cover and things. And what I'm doing is I'm basically going through all my Cack and pulling out bits. I'm quite liking it. I mean, this is obviously the servery here, kitchen inside. I've cut a semicircle, or bit of a circle of foam core, which I'm going to cut out to make counter on the inside. You can see in here, but I'm going to cut more out of it out. Can you see that? Can't really see that, can? It's like white against white. There we go. Going to cut out that as well. I found some terrain crate video game units. So I'm thinking one of these back room sections is going to be a retro video gaming area. To a couple of those, I've found the odd drinks can dispensers. They're going to come out here, and because I'm also going to have at least a couple of these units. There's again, I think, a Mantic, which are going to be the ordering machines, just like you get in a regular kind of like takeaway these days. And I've got to find some bits here. Table in this section, maybe. This really isn't actually taking very long to do this model, because it's mostly find stuff in my bits box and stick it on. I could do the table sticking out this side as well, I suppose. But yeah, so I've got a couple of bits that are going to go inside and make it a bit kitcheny, but again I don't want to put too much inside because we have to move figures around in there. But it's just a case of dig. Add the whimsy. Yeah. Oh, I found a couple of flat screens from the Maelstrom's Edge sprues. They're going to go on walls like that as well. This is quite neat. Nice little model. Right. Take this bit. Cut out the shelf that's going to go on the inside. Just going to freehand that and that. Wicked. Didn't see that, did you? Look, I've drawn a freehand semi bit on there. Going to cut that out, stick that in. Okay, so inside my kitchen then I've got a kind of like, I don't know, I think it's a recycling bin, but it's going to be some kind of oven type thing. And another thing here, they're just going to like spits out Muntz burgers, and a counter at the back, and a counter in front. Looking pretty good actually. It just doesn't need to be this complicated. I love it. Loads of this. It's great. This one actually I think is going to turn out to be quite a quick build. Which, let's face it, makes a massive refreshing change for me. Because normally I overthink this shit and it gets way too complicated, way too quickly. Actually, my biggest thing with a lot of this is going to be the little things I'm going to have to just kind of like paint and stick in as I go, really. Because I've got loads of things. Mantic Terrain Crate shop stuff actually is really cool. It's pretty solid. It's not very bendy, which is cool. Unlike the office desks, look at that. That's a piece of crap. Bent as I'm going to have to go in boiling water. But hey ho, still looking good. Yeah, but video games. Okay, I'm making a couple of little tables just out of foam core, cut to a funky shape, truncated kind of spiky thing, one out of each wall, and then that way there I'm going to end up with that way we're gradually making this look more. You can't just see what I'm doing there. There. So I'm basically cutting up, using offcuts of foam core here. Don't wait where I often throw these bits away. Right now I'm using some offcuts of foam core just to cut out some really simple tables. They're going to have strips of cardboard around the edge, foam core underneath. Holy crap, that's not at all straight. I'll just stick to the wall. Typical table in a fast food joint. What it is, again, it's going to provide some form of cover. It's going to add to the overall look of the place. Not everything on this model has to be plastic component that I've dug through the Cack for. Part of doing this model is trying to use a number of components to make this a relatively cheap, quick and easy project that anybody could do. If you get a filament roll, you can do it. I like the filament roll part of it because I like sci-fi models to have round elements, and working with round and curved elements it's kind of tricky at times. So yeah, that's kind of neat. So look, all I've got here is a strip of breakfast cereal box. It's about 5mm wide, and I'm going to sear it. Just basically stick that all round my fast food joint table. Give it a bit of an edge. Cut it off, stick it in. Nice and simple. one of those on either side. In this case, one on one side of the door, one on the other side of the eatery hatch. That's about all the scenery we're going to need in here, really. I think one of those things where I need to take a breath and not get too carried away with the amount of stuff I'm putting in it, otherwise could actually get too crowded. I want this to be an effective little model. I've stuck in 3 gaming machines in the back. I'm going to stick a bin in the back as well, but I haven't worked out where that's going to go yet. Not putting anything else in there because they're going to be awkward enough to paint as it is. I'll stick these in and you'll be able to see what they look like as well. Of course, as is traditional with all my models these days, I've changed my mind about something after I've stuck a shitload of things on. What I wanted to do was put a bunch of cardboard segments on here, just if nothing else, to make it a bit easier to paint. But what I've done is stuck bits on already, so however even that will do, I think, kind of thing. Maybe, possibly. Stuck a third one there, like that. 3 of those, they're all the same. Can I get that off? I can get that off. Can I get that off? Stuck that on last night. Oh, it's going to be harder. Come on, you bastard. Gotta get that off. Stuck that on last night. Oh, shit. Ah, well, nice idea. Well done, me. Stick you back on there. Just a bit here then, and a bit over there. All it's really doing is just breaking up the flat surface of the roof. I'll put a couple more plates over here, I think. And I'm nearly ready to paint. Oh yeah. Okay, so there's my little table. And a little table around this side. A computer screen on each side. Door in for the staff. Serving hatch with a little shelf on the outside there with some condiments. Bits inside. Video game. Okay, we've gone all black. Now we need to do paint this bad boy. Nice. Simple, get it done. And done. Although you can't see it very well from the top. We'll have a look in a minute. Actually, let me take the Judge Dredd figures off. Whoop. Just be taking some photographs. And there and there. You probably need to move the camera too. Let's move the camera. Alright, that's it. Done. I'm finished. I'm done. I'm well pleased. I've actually set out what I meant to do, which was make a thing in like 2 days. Here it is. Rough and ready. It's a bit quick, but the fact is in the end is that I'm rather pleased with this. This is the hottie house. Because that's what it says up there, the hottie house. It's kind of whimsical. Titting. It's a hot dog stand type thing, as well as hottie house, and I'm hoping that's what Warlord's intention is with that transfer. They kind of give it for kind of like putting on vehicles and stuff, but the hottie house is a hot dog stand where you get Muntz dogs, obviously. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it's worked out. It's got everything I was kind of hoping for. The roof lifts off. Ta-da! It's a bit crappy underneath because, you know, don't need it to be. It's got the kitchen area. It's detailed on the inside. Note the lights very cunning. I'm quite pleased with that. That's good. Then the lid goes back on, and then what do we got? Well, we got, okay, so we first start with the actual restauranty bit. Serving hatch, a little tills, kind of neat. Ketchup bottles. What are they called? Screens to audio stuff, because you can't actually walk up to a counter or talk to a person, can you? I mean, Christ, couldn't do in the future. Certainly can't in 2024. And then there's a table over here with a computer screen there, advert on the wall for Nuclear Cola, a table on the wall with a screen over here, which I'm really quite pleased about. Gate, doorway into the kitchen, and there's one on the other side, which is quite neat. Then around the back is the retro arcade with 3 arcade machines, one which is called Starfire, which I've still got to do a bit more work on the lettering, and one I put a transfer on a game called Fire and Ice, I decided, but the paint job is so dark you can't see the transfer. The lighting is achieved with a garland LED, a bottle garland LED setup, cunningly disguised as a recycling bin, so I can turn that on and off. Nice. And I basically put led the garland all the way around the top inside the kitchen now again, and just stuck it in place with hot glue, which works really, really well. So this is a really simple build, a trash build if you like, and obviously a Cack dig. Cack dig trash build kit bash. Catchy, huh? But the cool thing is I've done it really, really quickly, and I think it will look really nice on a tabletop. It's going to be, it looks cracking with models. Hang on, let's get a couple of bods stood there out the front. Let's have a fade there and another civilian there. Works real nice. The paint job is really simple, straightforward. It matches a lot of my other block paintwork, which is kind of cool, and yeah, I'm super happy with it. So I hope that this has kind of like inspired you. If you've got your own PLA spools, make use of them, don't chuck them away. If you know somebody who prints, get theirs, because you could do really cool things with this. You could of course make a whole unit out of little round houses and stuff. You can make other shops out of this quite happily. I could have other ones around about the place that are kind of like open marketplace. I reckon there are other uses for it. If you come up with other uses, what you think you have, what other kind of buildings or things you can make with a PLA spool, put it in the comments down below. If you like this model, tell me what you think, put it in the comments down below. If you don't like this model, you think it sucks, well, tell me what you think, put it in the comments down below. One way or another, put it in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Coming up soon is going to be a new Patreon build. You could be a prefect or a dent member at my Patreon to join in the large Patreon build. Patreon.com/McAfee-Builder-Worlds. Next, I think for Judge Dredd, I'm going to be working on Smiley O'Reilly's bar, a Shuggy Hall and bar, which will be 2 Happy Units wise. That's probably the next build I'm going to do. Not going to be around for 2 weeks to do it though, because I've got work to go and do, so that will be getting on to the end of August into September. And then I'm going to get back to doing some B&B for a little while. I have no idea what I'm going to make, but we'll see how we go. I've got some ideas, a pretty big project for next year. Watch the space on that. Anyway, this has been McAfee-Builder-Worlds. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I'll see you very, very soon. Let's get a camera and go and have a closer look at this model. Well, it's behind me. I'll get out of the bleeding way. Yeah, layers. Of course, I haven't replaced my Lazy Susan yet, so I'm going to have to kind of like rotate it in the old-fashioned way.